We are live, I believe. I hope to do actually more than one live stream today. I know this was a little bit impromptu and a little bit unorganized, but what can you do? I haven't done a live stream in a while, but I'm going to hopefully be painting quite a bit today. Coffee, very important. What I have to paint today is working again on my very large commission that I started for my friend, where I am painting him a whole bunch of Imperial Knights. So I'm going to be working on some weapons today, and then if I get these done, I've got some armor panels to start on. As you can see, I've started to go on this one, so I'm going to go ahead and get after that. Things to talk about today. So I did watch the last episode of Hammer and Bolter, so I'll give my spoiler-filled review for that. There we go. It's missing a paintbrush. Never mind that. But yeah, so I'm going to give my review of that last episode of Hammer and Bolter, which I watched. And then going forward from there, we'll probably chat a little bit about some of the latest reveals, releases, and all that good stuff. There's obviously been quite a bit being shown off and going on lately. So certainly many things to talk about, and obviously if you guys have anything you'd like to discuss, just let me know what that would be. But without further ado, I'm just going to be painting, and I'll just ramble on about that episode. And if anybody has any questions or comments, feel free to just ask away. So the last episode, I honestly had it remembered, and now I've already forgotten. Not important, but I forget the name of the episode. But this one is their finale, and they certainly did go out with a bang. Right off the bat, I'm going to say that the animation quality was much improved from pretty much all of their previous episodes. It's like, you know, they actually had a budget maybe of more than $12 for this one. So there's definitely more animation, like when they're talking and moving and stuff. There's more shit going on there. So this one focuses on Nurgle and Death Guard. And basically, so this is going to be like a play-by-play spoiler. So if you haven't seen it or you're going to see it, I don't know why you would, because why would you subscribe to Warhammer Plus unless you're an idiot like me who already is, and in which case you've probably already seen it. Anyways, so it's Death Guard Marines, and it starts off and there's just like a whole world on fire, and there's a group of Death Guard on the planet, and basically the Chaos Sorcerer, the Death Guard Sorcerer, is like lecturing the commander or the captain, and he's like, you know, you're a failure. Like every time you try and do anything, it fails. Like, look at all this. This was a beautiful, corrupted world, and now it's on fire and ruined because you suck. And basically he's like, you know, like, I'm taking over, and of course the captain is like, what? I'm Nurgle's chosen, you can't do that to me. And then he's like, look it, I have his herald here with me. And because he had this little like Nurgling sitting on his shoulder, and then he looks down and the Nurgling's actually is over with the other guy, and he's like it was kind of, everybody likes Nurglings. I never liked Nurgle at all, but it was kind of funny. So then we get some like genuine, pretty like horrific, nasty shit. Like, obviously it's Nurgle, so it's always going to be pretty gross. But basically the sorcerer is like, I am Nurgle's chosen, not you. Whatever cheesy villain dialogue, and you're just like, pew! And frickin' hits him with the warp magic and turns him into a fucking chaos spawn. And let me tell you, that shit was nasty as hell. And there's a group, anyway, so he turns into a spawn basically, and it's like disgusting. And he had a group of Death Shroud Terminators with him, like the big guys with the big scythes. And then the sorcerer is like, which one of you will be, chosen of Nurgle or whatever. And then so they all like kind of run at him or whatever, and he hits all of them with the warp fuckery, and like the one just like dissolves like into like gross goo or whatever. The one like mutates out of control, and I think he like turns into like a mushroom or whatever. But then the third one, he like is strong enough or chosen enough or whatever, and he basically just becomes like a more jacked Terminator. Um, so I guess he's the chosen or whatever. And anyways, we see them kind of, setting sail on their Nurgle ship and talking a bit and whatever, and we get some cool views of what inside of a Nurgle corrupted ship looks like. I say cool, but like it is just straight up nasty. It is so gross. If you were a Death Guard fan or whatever, like I'm sure you're loving it, but I'm like, why? Why am I looking at a ship that is like a freaking floating butthole in space? Like, um, but anyway, so they're like sailing along, and he's like, explaining his evil schemes and whatnot to the his new Death Shroud buddy, and they end up coming to like an Imperial. They jump out of warp or whatever, and they're right in front of an Imperial planet, and it's like a super heavily fortified one. There's like a whole fleet in front of it, and of course, like all the alarms are going off, and all the little Nurgle corrupted crew are like, "Sir, like, what are we going to do? They're all like, all their guns are firing on us and whatever." And he's like, "Just, he's like basically like, just shut up and watch," kind of thing. And then one by one, you just kind of instantly see all the ships and the planet itself just like taken over by corruption, and you're like, that's weird. Like, how? And he gives the whole time basically from here on out, he's giving this like anytime they mess around with like time and space and stuff, like it gets real mindfucky. But he's basically explaining, and then they're going down to the planet or whatever, and they sail through all these like destroyed rotten ships and the rotten city and whatever, and you're like, he's explaining basically it's that whole like time is a circle, and like we were here in the past, so then we're also there in the future, and like, or in the present, or sorry, we were there in the future, and so now we're back in the past. And like it's that weird like time loop convoluted fuckery thing, but like apparently when you do that with Nurgle nastiness, it like spills over into the past, I guess, somehow. um like honestly, maybe I have too little brain to understand, but it looks cool. Like it looks cool is a bad word. It looks disgusting, but it's very well done. The way the ships are corroding, the way the humans on the planet are like crumbling and growing into mushrooms and fungus and corrupting into tentacles and shit. Like as as he's explaining all this, they're like walking through the city, and it's that weird like thing where it's like they did this in the future so that it's affecting the past, and some anyways. The point of this planet is that it's like a broadcast station for the what's it called? Not the Astronomicon. Oh, what's it called? You know what I mean? When like how an astropathic choir. That's what it is. When you have the psyker humans, and that's how they send long distance messages. So this is like a broadcasting station for them, basically. So there's like a lot of them there, in their robes and whatever, like broadcasting signals through the warp. And so they get to there, and the room is like super protected and warded and sealed and whatever, and even the corruption hasn't made it through. And basically, like that Terminator guy that he corrupted in the beginning, he's like carrying some, like, that's why he's the chosen of Nurgle or whatever. He's like carrying some like mega plague that can melt through doors or something, I guess, and it like kills him, and he like becomes a mutated blob on the ground. But then it melts the door basically with, and when I say melt, like I'm not describing it very good. Like the door becomes so corrupted that it like falls apart basically. Um, anyway, they go in there and he basically like he's giving like a mind plague to the astropaths. So I think that they're like projecting. I think he calls it a plague of madness. He's like it's like a plague of the mind or a plague of the warp, and he's like channeling it through them and broadcasting it to everybody. So like obviously this is going to be a big deal, and it's like pretty crazy. Um, but when he does that to them, they again like it is so well done, so much like body horror, so just gross, like all of the astropaths like fuse and warp, and like I'm not describing it very well. It's not like they just turn into a blob. It's like, you know, like their eye like pulls out of their head and then it opens up and it's a mouth, and then that mouth like fuses into another guy, and it's just like everything is just like a churning, roiling mass of limbs and eyes and teeth and tentacles, and it's very gross, but it's very well done. It's very like it's very much what you'd expect from Nurgle Corruption or whatever. Um, so, anyways, like I said, the story was like very convoluted. I know some people love those weird like time fucky stories. For me, it's like if I have to go and like Google like why, like it doesn't make sense to me, but if I read a write up, I can kind of jumble it together in my brain, and I know a lot of people like that stuff, like the whole that movie Interstellar. Matthew McConaughey kind of has a thing like that. Also, there's that Alien one I think called Arrival. It kind of has a thing like that, where like time is a loop and time is a circle and all that nonsense. So, anyways, the episode itself, like I said, I think it was probably the best animated one. And as far as Hammer and Bolter, like probably the best one that they've done. So good on them, I guess, for saving the best for last. Now that said, that episode was a good couple weeks ago, and there's been nothing else since. And I now see that Exodite, apparently, that one that we all actually like, even though it's still quite short, apparently there's actually only one more episode left, and that will be the finale. So we're getting a total of like maybe 20 minutes of show. Like not even one normal episode of a normal show. Like, oh, it's getting exhausting, guys. Like, I hope you all know, like, the only reason I keep making these reviews of the content is because I had already paid for it a year in advance like an idiot. So obviously I'm going to watch it because I've already paid for it. But I would not pay for it now. Or maybe like if you just want to see the animations, because like, you know, they're cool, like I'm glad I saw them, there's just not much of them. I would honestly like subscribe for a month or whatever the minimum amount you can, watch it all, and then just unsubscribe, and then wait 6 months or more for there to be more stuff or more interesting stuff. Subscribe again, watch it all, and then unsubscribe, because there's absolutely no reason to keep your subscription at this point, because you could watch everything in 2 days easily, like less than that. If you're having a lazy day at home, you could watch everything, all the animation on Warhammer Plus you could watch in a matter of, I don't know, 2 hours maybe, and that's including like Astartes that you've already watched most likely. Yeah, there's just not a lot, but we've talked about this many times. So other things to talk about. So I know this was kind of out of the blue, but like nobody's turned up to chat. My boy Penguins must be asleep or something. I don't know if you guys saw. I think I posted about it. Maybe I didn't even make a post. The winners of our little giveaway thing have all got their minis safe and sound, so that's cool. Glad they all made it. One of them went all the way to Australia to somebody whose name I can't remember because it was yeah, I forget what the name was of the person that won that one, but yeah, that person was in Australia for the one. He had the assassin character guy, and yes, that one went all the way to Australia, and then Penguins himself won the second giveaway, as you guys probably saw. I was giving away one of 3 minis, and then what I decided to do was give away an additional one of them after the first draw to somebody that was on my Patreon. So it's only a handful of people on my Patreon, so it was pretty good luck, pretty good odds if you were in there that you would win it. And I'm honestly glad it went to Penguin because he's been a diehard supporter of the channel since the very start, and you know, always turns up for live streams and always chatting. So it was fitting that they went to him. I'm glad it did, and hope it serves him well. He won. He of course took the Kroot Shaper / Ethereal conversion I was giving away for his Kroot army. A very cool, like, snowy Kroot army, and he did his own version of my style of Krootox. So pretty cool. I don't think he's too big on social media though. I don't think he's posted it too much, but I know that I think I've shown off some of his stuff before. I'll have to do that again. But anyways, as far as other releases, well, as you all know, sorry, coffee break. As we all know, GW is squats confirmed, so that's pretty rad. I know a lot of people think it's a joke. Here's why I don't think it's a joke, alright? I don't think it's a joke because if you all remember when people were putting those huge rumor dumps out, which then those rumor dumps have all been true. They were predicting things in some cases like a year in advance. They predicted Black Templars, they predicted the Eldar releases, they predicted the Chaos releases, they predicted the Tyranid single model that is coming out. Literally everything that they've shown off and everything that has come out in the last year or so got predicted and leaked by the rumor dump, and it was all true. So in those rumor dumps, it was always vague. They never said exactly what, but they always said that something for squats was coming out. So I would find it hard to believe that those rumor dumps that were right about everything else would then be wrong about squats, and then GW puts out a trailer for squats just as a joke. Like, I think it was both. I think it was a joke, but also there's going to be something. And here is my prediction, and feel free to share what you think. I strongly suspect it's going to be a kill team. I strongly suspect it's going to be a really cool squat kill team. There might also be a character, like, as a part of that kill team. It might be like one character and then a squad of 10 guys or whatever. And I bet you they will have quite a bit of options, and I bet you they will get rules for 40k to be taken in a guard army or whatever. And yeah, that is my prediction. I can't see them doing a whole army, and that is just because they are so niche, and then they also their lore is basically that they are like an endangered species. Like, there's not a lot of squats left. Their home worlds got nommed by the Tyranids, and there's not a ton of them around. There's a couple like on Necromunda. They're kind of like living out amongst the human populations now at this point. So it would be very strange for them to all of a sudden have like a massive galactic force, on par with with guard armies or space marine armies or whatever, like that would seem a little bit strange. Like they would have to do some really weird, they'd have to come up with some weird lore to justify that, like, oh, the squats actually had a secret, a secret hidden empire on the outer fringes this whole time, and now they're back and they're here to take revenge on the Tyranids, and they just haven't shown up till now because reasons. You know what I mean? Like, it would have to be something like that that was kind of really forced. And I'm not saying that's impossible. I just think, given what they've been doing with Kill Team, they've been putting out these unique models, and they're like really trying to push Kill Team pretty hard, like how they came out with the Eldar Corsairs, which is another very niche faction that hasn't had rules or models in a long time, and then now they're back because of Kill Team. I could just very easily see them doing the same thing with the squads. So that is my 2 cents on that. I'm pretty stoked about it because, of course, I have my Space Squat Pirate Army, and of course, if they put out squat models, I'll probably find a way to add them in there. And it's perfect because my squats are scions, which are guard. So if they make squats, I'm assuming they're going to be part of the guard army. So I can probably just incorporate those models right into my thing without having to change them. And it'll be good because, honestly, I'm kind of not stumped, but like I'm having a hard time deciding how I want to finish off the army. Whether I want to go the route of getting some guard units to mix in, because right now everything in it, in the pirate army, fits into a squat, or not a squat, sorry, a scions army or a scions detachment. But obviously you can ally scions with guard, or not ally, but like you could just have a guard detachment with your scions army. So if they make squats for Astra Militarum, then I would just go ahead and make a small Astra Militarum detachment and just fit them in there. Fuck's sakes, just got some red on my... Oh, I just got some red on my silver trim. I have to paint over that. No big deal. So yeah, I'm excited about that, and I hope it's not a joke. That would be a cruel joke. I hope it's not too far away either. I hope it's not too far away, but good God, I hope they put out frickin' Chaos Space Marines soon. And you know what's going to happen. They're going to put out the Chaos Space Marine book, and it's going to be good and playable, and for literally like 2 months, and then they're going to be like, and here's Space Marine Codex number 2. And it's just exhausting. Like, come on, GW. Give Chaos the frickin'... They're literally just like trolling Chaos players now. They're like, oh, look it, we're giving you 2 wounds, haha. And we're like, yeah, like fucking going on 2 years too late, GW. Like, Jesus Christ. Anyways, I'm not salty though. I'm not a salty Chaos boy. But yeah, I really enjoy painting Imperial Knight stuff, so I'm just take my time, do it one piece at a time. My friend is he's in no rush. It's not a big deal if I take a while to get all these done. My goal was to finish the first big night this weekend, but I don't know if that's realistic. That might not be realistic. Yeah, I'm shocked. The Mighty Penguin hasn't shown up. Usually he's always... Maybe he's actually busy this time. It'll be like 3 in the morning, and then he'll just appear like a phantom in the night, and I'm like, why aren't you asleep? And he's like, why aren't you asleep? And I'm like, well, I'm streaming and painting. And he's like, oh, well, here I am. You know what's nice though? I think when I have, this isn't to say don't watch, because like, Jesus Christ, I've been going for 25 minutes and nobody's popped into chat. But the one thing that's nice is when nobody shows up, it seems like none of the Slanesh bots do either. They're like, ooh, no prey over here on this dusty live stream. And because the last couple that I did longer streams too. That might be part of it. It gives them more time to appear, but like, they were really bad the last couple of streams. And I don't have any moderators or anything, of course. I've talked about, if I do, I don't know how to make someone a moderator, but if I do, it would probably be Penguin, just because it's usually always here. But so I'm like trying to figure out how to ban these things myself. They're just running rampant. And I'm like, cover your eyes, brothers. Don't fall for it. I don't know who, it must be like, maybe it's like an older person thing to fall for them. Like, I'm like, I don't think anybody in today's day and age would click on those things. Like, it would have to be somebody that just like never goes on the internet. They're like watching a shitty Warhammer live stream and they're just like, ooh, porn ad. Just what the doctor ordered. Like, this is just for me. They're like sexy singles in your area want to play Warhammer with you, and they're like, ooh, don't mind if I do. Like, I think that most people can tell that's not going to be the case, because nobody sexy plays Warhammer. Oh, it hurts. It hurts. I've done my part to bring some inclusivity to Warhammer. I've got my friend Tara playing now. Pretty, not very common. You see women or girls wanting to play, and she just freaking jumped right into it. Just went and bought a decent little Eldar army and painting away. I think everybody's gonna get together for a game next weekend, I think, at some point. So she might be able to play her army then. We'll probably just do like, you know, just because she's learning the rules and stuff, we'll probably just have like a good old-fashioned try to kill each other game. Maybe we'll even do like a 2v2. We do like me and her versus my two other friends. I don't know how that would work. I don't play. I guess you could maybe. Maybe we could do Kroot and Eldar versus. Oh, that wouldn't work. Yeah, because my friends play Orcs, Space Marines, Guard, and Knights. And the thing is, I don't think any of those would ally with the Orcs versus Eldar, especially the one that they would more likely ally with. So I don't know, we'll figure it out though. We'll work it out. Anyways, so that is where we are at right now. That's focusing. We've got pretty much all just like the base colors, just the silver and the red down. Now I'll do some fancy details, some fancy wires and cords, and probably maybe a little bit of freehand on like the gun shield. Been trying to do a lot of that so I don't have to do stupid decals. I hate decals. But I will let you guys go. My break's up, but I'm going to be streaming again later. So if you're watching this later and it's been uploaded, it takes forever to upload when I'm uploading it on data, but it'll be uploaded at some point today. If you're watching this and you're like, oh, dang it, I missed it. Well, there'll be another one for you. So feel free to, I always like announce it a little bit ahead of time on my Instagram or whatever. So keep your eyes peeled. You can come hang out on the next one. Bye.